When you try and wake your kids up for school this morning, if you haven't already, and they groan that it's too early in the morning, they might actually be right. Some health experts suggest that classes that begin before 8:30 a.m. might be too early, which means that many students in Missouri might not be getting enough sleep. However, I spoke to some Missouri educators who have differing opinions on that start time.
Smoking, drinking, doing drugs, becoming overweight, and not doing well in school. The Centers for Disease Control says these are the risks that teens face when they don't get enough sleep. The American Academy of Pediatrics suggests that middle and high schools start at 8:30 a.m. or later so that students are properly rested. And yet, a 2014 study says 93% of high schools and 83% of middle schools start before 8:30. In Missouri, the average start time is 7:54 a.m. So I asked Northwest Missouri educators, should we push back the start time?
It depends on, oh boy, how am I going to?
Well, if you would ask me this about 10 years ago where I wasn't even awake quite at that time, I would probably agree.
They brought up some good points on both sides.
Research states that, and having my own children, I know they were hard to get up at the middle school, high school level, but they were also difficult to get to bed too. So I really felt like they kind of did that to themselves.
I definitely see value in waiting till 8:30 to start, but I also know that you can combat that with student engagement.
High school students, though, their peak learning time is usually after lunch. So that's why a lot of them look at having jobs as more fun than being at school, or they look at sports and activities because they're at their peak period of their day at that time.
Kids are involved in lots of activities now, so you're looking at after-school practices. So those would start later in the day as well. So
Students would be getting home later from sports and jobs, which could mean they'd be going to bed later and get the same amount of sleep they are now. And not to mention,
When they actually get out of school and they get a job, not too many jobs are going to let you walk in at 10 or 10:30 and start your day. So that's kind of my opinion. They need to get used to that.
the bottom line,
I think there's some give and take there. Trying to find a happy medium that works for everybody is always a challenge.
as long as they get at least 8 hours of sleep, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine says they should be good to go. Christina Zagami, KQ2, your local news leader.